For millions of people, the airport is a place of transition, a gateway to new beginnings, family reunions, or life-changing business deals. But the moment you step off that plane and onto Canadian soil, you are no longer in a neutral space. You have entered a high-stakes legal zone governed by some of the most rigorous border laws in the world. In Canada, the airport is not just a building, it is a legal filter. Most travelers believe that if they have a valid visa and a clean record, they are safe. They are wrong. In this environment, your biggest enemy is not a criminal past, but a lack of preparation. A single joke at the wrong moment, a forgotten piece of fruit in your carry-on, or a casual lie about your intentions can trigger a chain reaction that leads to immediate deportation, permanent bans, and a shattered future. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on the silent rules of the Canadian Border Services Agency.
We are going beyond the standard security checks to reveal the legal traps that catch even the most seasoned travellers. This is the Gatekeepers, and what you don't know can change your life forever. The most common mistake travellers make is assuming their digital life is private once they reach the border. Under the Customs Act, Canadian border officers have the unique legal authority to search your electronic devices without a warrant. To the law, your phone is no different than your suitcase. It is a container that may hold evidence of non-compliance. Imagine a young professional arriving in Toronto on a visitor visa.
He has a clean record and a valid passport, but during a random secondary inspection, an officer asks for his phone password.
The officer finds a series of messages discussing a job interview he attended online and his plans to start working the following week. In that moment, his visitor status is legally voided. He has committed misrepresentation under Section 40 of the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act. The secret here is that your digital footprint is your legal biography.
If your messages, emails, or social media profiles contradict your stated purpose of entry, the law considers it a fraud. In Canada, the border is not just a physical line, it is a digital one. And once you provide that password, you have opened the door to your entire history. In the stressful environment of an airport, many people use humor to relieve tension.
But at a Canadian port of entry, humor is a dangerous liability. Under the Aeronautics Act and various safety regulations, any comment regarding threats, explosives, or illegal acts, even if clearly intended as a joke, must be treated as a credible threat. Consider the real-life story of a traveler who, frustrated by a long-waited security, made a sarcastic comment about having a dangerous item in his bag. He didn't just lose his flight, he was immediately arrested, charged with mischief, and faced a lifetime ban from the airline. In Canada, the law does not recognize intent when it comes to airport safety. It only recognizes the action of the statement. The moment those words leave your mouth, the legal machinery begins to move. And it does not stop for an apology. The secret to navigating the airport is professional silence. Your conduct is your contract with the state, and any breach of that contract is met with absolute severity. Most people think border officers are only looking for drugs or weapons. In reality, one of their biggest priorities is the protection of Canada's $70 billion agricultural economy. Under the Health of Animals Act and the Plant Protection Act, a simple apple or a sandwich from your home country is seen as a biological threat. Think of a grandmother traveling to visit her family in Vancouver, bringing a small bag of traditional seeds from her garden. She didn't declare them because she didn't think they were items of value. When the detector dog flagged her bag, she was hit with an immediate $1,300 fine and a permanent record in the integrated primary inspection line. This means for the next 10 years, every time she enters Canada, she will be subjected to an automatic search. The secret here is that ignorance of the law is not a defense. If you fail to declare any food, plant or animal product, you are not just making a mistake, you are committing an offense against the biosecurity of the nation. There is a pervasive myth at the Canadian border that it is illegal to carry more than $10,000 in cash. This is a misunderstanding of the Proceeds of Crime, Money Laundering and Terrorist Financing Act. In Canada, you can legally carry $1 million in your suitcase if you wish. The secret is the declaration. The law only requires that you report any amount of $10,000 or more, including foreign currency stocks or bank drafts, to a border officer. However, if you hide $10,001 in your luggage and fail to mention it, the law allows the CBSA to seize that money immediately. while you may be able to reclaim it by paying a penalty ranging from $250 to $5,000, the stakes are often higher. If the officer suspects the funds are suspected proceeds of crime, the government can seize the entire amount permanently with no return. In the eyes of the border, silence is not just a mistake. It is treated as a confession of illicit activity. For those applying for permanent residency while visiting Canada, there is a sophisticated legal concept known as dual intent. Under Canadian immigration policy, it is perfectly legal to arrive as a visitor, even if your ultimate goal is to live here forever. The trap lies in how you communicate this.
Many travelers lie, saying they are only visiting for a week because they fear honesty will lead to a refusal. This is a fatal error. If an officer finds evidence of your PR application on their system, which they can see instantly, and you have denied your long-term plans, you are flagged for misrepresentation. The secret to dual intent is proving that you will leave Canada at the end of your authorized stay, even if you hope to return as a resident later. Honesty with an officer about your future goals, supported by ties to your home country, is the only legal shield that works. Under the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act, there is a massive legal distinction between a business visitor and a foreign worker. Beginners often trigger an immediate refusal by bringing tools of the trade on a tourist visa. Consider a photographer arriving for a friend's wedding with 3 professional camera bodies and industrial lighting.
To the traveller, it's a hobby. To the CBSA, it is evidence of intent to work without a permit. If your luggage contains professional tools, samples for sale, or industrial equipment, you are no longer a visitor. The secret is knowing the LMIA exempt categories. If you are entering to perform work, you must declare it as such. Calling a professional gig a vacation is the fastest way to receive a direction to leave Canada order. When you are referred to secondary, the legal environment changes. While the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms protects everyone on Canadian soil, your rights at the border are significantly limited compared to a police station. You do not have an immediate right to a lawyer for a routine customs search. In this room, the Customs Act gives officers the power to unpack every item, read every document, and ask probing questions about your finances and relationships. The secret here is cooperation without admission of guilt.
You are legally required to answer truthfully, but any aggressive or evasive behavior provides the officer with reasonable grounds to escalate the search. In the secondary room, your demeanor is as much a part of the inspection as your luggage. Navigating the border with prescription medication is a legal minefield governed by the Controlled Drugs and Substances Act. Canada has strict limits. You can generally only bring a 30-day supply of a narcotic or controlled drug, and it must be in its original pharmacy packaging with your name clearly labeled. Many travelers make the mistake of moving pills into travel organizers to save space. At the border, an unlabeled pill is a suspected narcotic. The secret to a smooth entry is carrying a physical copy of your prescription or a doctor's note. If you are carrying a 90-day supply of standard medication, ensure it matches your intended length of stay.
In Canada, the law treats your health and the nation's drug safety as one and the same. As we enter 2026, the digital border has expanded to include your public social media presence. While you wait in line, officers can, and often do, audit your LinkedIn, Instagram, or Facebook profiles. If your LinkedIn profile says relocating to Toronto or started a new job at a Canadian firm, but you are entering on a visitor visa, you have created a legal contradiction before you even speak to an officer. The secret is consistency. Your digital life must match your legal documents. The CBSA uses these public markers to identify intent, and a single post can be used as evidence to justify a 5-year ban for misrepresentation. The Canadian government compares foreign offences against Canadian law, and the results can be shocking. A minor offence in your home country, such as a DUI or a small scuffle, can be classified as serious criminality in Canada.
Since late 2018, impaired driving in Canada carries a maximum 10-year sentence, meaning a single DUI conviction from 20 years ago can make you permanently inadmissible. The secret here is rehabilitation. If enough time has passed, you can apply for deemed rehabilitation or a temporary resident permit. Never assume a cleared record in your home country is invisible to Canada. The border has access to global criminal databases, and honesty is the only way to navigate this barrier. We have explored the 250-minute journey through the gatekeepers of the North. We have seen how the law uses transparency to filter those who respect the system from those who do not. The Canadian airport is not a place to be feared, but a place to be understood. Every rule, every search, and every question is part of a grander design to keep this nation safe, stable, and welcoming. When you approach the border with knowledge, you are not just a traveler, you are an informed guest.
You are someone who understands that the maple leaf represents a commitment to the rule of law. If you carry yourself with honesty and preparation, that invisible line at the border becomes a bridge to your future. Your journey starts with a single step, and that step begins with knowing the law. Welcome to your new life. Welcome to Canada. Canada is a country of laws, and those laws are designed to protect the very freedom and safety that draw people here from all corners of the globe. Navigating the airport is your first test as a member of this society. It requires patience, absolute honesty, and a profound respect for the rules. Do not fear the border, respect it. When you arrive with transparency and preparation, you aren't just a traveler, you are a guest who understands the value of the home you are entering. Every rule you follow is a step toward your new life. Stay informed, stay honest, and your journey into the heart of the North will be the beginning of the greatest chapter of your life. Welcome to Canada.